He had done it. He smiled down at his prize. The bones were about the size of his first finger, tied together with red thread. He held the cross to his nose and sniffed. They smelt like the garden when his grandad used to dig up the weeds. He placed the bones in his left palm and ran his finger over them, studying the 3 lines scored at the top of each one, which could be a magic mark. A muffled voice made him look up guiltily. Had his mum seen him go out of the garden? He whistled through his teeth and shuffled his feet, waiting for the shout that meant trouble. But no shout came. When he felt brave enough to look directly, the face that stared at him through the glass was his mum's, but it didn't look like her. Stephen's mouth dropped open, and real fear grabbed his stomach. His mum's face was chalk white, her mouth twisted in pain. Behind her was a dark shadow. Stephen dropped the bones. "Mum," his voice emerged in a whimper. She opened her mouth as if to scream at him, and he waited, rigid with apprehension. Then her face jerked towards the glass, once, twice, 3 times. Stephen stood rooted to the spot, watching her neck whip backwards and forwards. Then it was over. She caught his eye and held it. Her mouth moved in a silent, exaggerated word. "Run!" Chapter 2. Dr. Rhona MacLeod ignored the metallic smell of blood, mingled with stale urine, and raised her eyes to the ceiling, where cast-off bloodstains formed an arc. Short, heavy weapons tended to swing slowly, and in short arcs. Judging by the spots on the ceiling, the instrument used to kill the old woman was probably long and light. The body sat in an old-fashioned winged armchair, head slumped forward, fluffy white hair stained dark red. The skull gaped in a line from crown to neck. In the opening, contusions bunched like black grapes. Larger drops splattered the slippered feet and surrounding beige carpet, their tail direction suggesting the victim was attacked from behind. Rhona wondered if the woman had even realised her attacker was in the room. She secretly hoped she hadn't. To die such a violent death was terrible. To anticipate it, even worse. The hands that lay in the lap were small and pearly white, a threading of blue veins running, like raised tributaries, across the crepey flesh. A worn gold wedding band hung loose on the 4th finger of the left hand, a delicate gold watch circling the thin wrist. She wore a pale blue nightgown, a knitted shawl about her shoulders. Had it not been for the blood, it was as if she had fallen asleep in her chair and would waken with a crick in her neck. The room had a threadbare quality, while retaining an aura of gentility despite the gory contents. Every surface held an ornament, most of which looked like good china. There were 3 small ornately framed paintings on the walls, dark oils of Highland scenes. The chair was placed so the woman could see the small television that sat on a chest nearby. A remote lay on the floor beside her, as though she had dropped it. To the left of the chair, the bed had its headboard against the back wall. The bed was newly made, crisp white sheets spoiled by crimson spray. On a bedside table sat a radio and 3 pill bottles. Rhona lifted one with a gloved hand and read the label. Sleeping tablets. The other 2 might be medication for water retention and circulatory problems, but she would have to check. She bagged the bottles and labelled them. It looked as though the old woman never left this room, and even here she hadn't been safe. Detective Inspector Bill Wilson appeared in the doorway, his expression brightening at the sight of Rhona. "You got here fast." "I was in the car when the call came through." Bill assumed an official air. In the midst of carnage, it served as a survival mechanism. "The procurator's been. Decided he didn't need to look in detail to give us the go-ahead. The duty pathologist pronounced death, via a view from the window. He'll wait until we ship them to the mortuary to take a closer look. McNab was keen to restrict access to the scene in case of contamination."